Our next bout is an amateur bout in the middleweight division. Please welcome LEWIE GENTIELLA.
And with the most audible response from the crowd tonight here at the packed out venue for Rise of the Champions. Coming in tonight with just 2 fights, 1-1, LEWIE GENTIELLA. From the United Kingdom, a well-rounded mixed martial artist, very dangerous, very powerful. Dean, very intense.
British fighter, 26 years old, in his prime. As you can see there, he's been working a lot on his strength and conditioning. A lot of these athletes have the technical abilities, but they need the power to finish the fight. And LEWIE definitely has that power in his stature as he gets vaselined up before coming into the cage. You can see he's at one with himself. That is such a key component in competing. You have to be at one with getting hit, and you won't get hit.
I mean, he's coming out to the song from Gladiator. That guy is more zen than I've seen in a long time. Everyone on their feet. Let's bring out his opponent.
And please welcome Kevin JILLON.
The undefeated Kevin JILLON. Interesting to note, he suggests he is a JKD stylist. Jeet Kune Do. That says a lot, Dean.
Bruce Lee's style, and you could argue that was the first snippet of MMA that we had the pleasure of looking into. Bruce Lee trained in all martial arts. He said, use no way as the way. And he comes in, Kevin, bringing that style to us. He's got some fancy turning back kicks to see if he can employ them, if he can gauge the distance. But he's an all-rounder and worked very hard on his wrestling game.
He's a champion in WCMMA, another London promotion here. So very interesting to see. He's got a lot of experience. He's got title experience. And also calm, cool, and collected in his own right, Dean. Something that we saw in his opponent. So that should make this very fascinating.
Back at home, he's known as the fearsome warrior. But he gives back to the community, does a lot of community work in Forest Gate where he lives, giving back, using his fame, his inertia in the MMA game, and he really tries to give that to the youth of today. A really nice guy.
This is Rise of Champions, and we get ready for 3 3-minute rounds in the amateur middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 6 feet tall and weighed in officially at 81.9 kilograms. He has a record of 1 win with 1 loss, 0 draws. Representing Elite Training Center, LEWIE GENTIELLA. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in officially at 82 kilograms. He has a record of 6 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. Representing Warmongers, Kevin JILLON. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Sam Amidi.
Sam, the man, Amidi in charge for this one. And it is a middleweight contest featuring Kevin JILLON. Kevin with the edge in experience, undefeated. LEWIE GENTIELLA, a very dangerous and unique martial artist. Going all the way upstairs with a head kick right off the bat, Dean.
And you'll see this a lot from Kevin. He's on the outside. He'll throw some unorthodox fakes and feigns. See there, that was just a little tap, not to hurt your opponent, but to make him think and do something else. Very smart fighter is Kevin JILLON.
And it's interesting to see thus far that GENTIELLA has beat him to the kick twice. But an interesting change of pace and tempo. And already we find ourselves in the clinch after a bull rush from Kevin JILLON.
Oh, big takedown from LEWIE there. Got his hips right underneath, and now he ends up in full mount. He's going to look to establish his base and detach Kevin's head and rain down punches.
And by that you mean push him down, Dean. Open up space for punching power and torque.
Kevin now on his back, holding on. What he's trying to do there, he's trying to stop Louis from rising up and punching like he is now. Frantically trying to get out, but he's turned his back. Oh, and it proved fruitful. The crowd applauds.
And what a crazy turn of events. Gentilla nearly caught the back take there, but Kevin Gillon getting on top. Gentilla scrambling out the back door, looking for the armbar off his back.
Kevin Gillon elusive on his feet and elusive on the ground. He's really worked on these positions and escaping from this position. Louis here on the outside now, bouncy on his feet. Guard nice and high, fakes the kick.
And I love the way these two are super patient on the outside, but the moment the firefight begins, it goes from 0 to 100 in an instant. That to me shows composure and killer instinct.
Kevin now trying to swarm in with those punches, using his head to get in, but he's looking down. He needs to be careful about eating some of these knees. As we see Louis there cinching up the tie palm clinch, but now he's going for the takedown. He's going to look to get both arms around the body of Kevin. And again, see if he can get his hips underneath and go up for that big aerial slam. Kevin needs to think about pummeling his hands underneath the armpits of Louis to gain those underhooks. As you see, he's got one overhook there on the left side. He needs to be careful about leaving his other arm holding the head. But he's doing a great job of squaring his hips downwards, keeping his base nice and wide.
And Gentilla trying to destabilize him here in the clinch. You notice the constant adjustments of pressure, and more importantly, the changing up of the attack. And he gets it down to the mat again.
Kevin holding on to that head. Very difficult to finish the guillotine from that position as the bell goes. But again, Louis showing that he's patient on the outside, and when it does come to that clinch situation, he's patient and he works hard to get that takedown at the correct time. He manipulates the balance of Kevin and goes for the takedown.
And more importantly, Dean, he stayed dominant on top. When he caught position, he stayed with control, whether it was the back take attempts, whether it was the ground and pound. The way you highlighted, he was trying to push away and separate the head. You notice the way that when his opponent was on his back, he was trying to sink up into him. Kevin Gillon doing a great job of trying to defend that ground and pound, but it was a response from Gentilla that proved to deliver some of the most devastating shots of this contest.
Kevin Gillon showing his mad scrambles on the floor. At one point there, he was giving up his back and he turned it and ended up on top. But Louis, straight off the base, sees those opportunities so quick and jumps all over him. Both these fighters looking for that ample opportunity and then going straight in for the kill.
Round 2 of 3 here at Rise of the Champions. Brad Pickett putting on a show of shows here tonight in London. Top amateur talent, and these two have not disappointed whatsoever, Dean.
Now Louis knows he's able to sit on that outside, gauge the distance, and when he gets the clinch, he's got the takedowns. Oh, let's just say Kevin with some crazy kicks that he's known for. He needs to be careful about doing that, because if Louis can time those and initiate the clinch, he could work for that takedown.
You get the feeling there's going to be a 1-inch punch here at any given moment. But Gillon, you know, you see his style, the hands are down. It's a difficult type of opponent to prepare for, Dean, throwing up axe kicks like that in the pocket. And I think that, in my opinion, Louis Gentilla is doing the right thing of staying outside and not coming in too quickly. Because those techniques can be, when they're flashy, low percentage, it only takes one.
Kevin Gillon now, he's working out that jab. Holds it down there by his side to switch his stances often, but he needs to start thinking about putting something in the face of Louis to make him think about coming in.
And where I say that earlier, I feel like a lesser opponent would be thrown off by some of the flim-flam of Gillon. The stance swapping, the strange maneuvers, the way he leaps in and out of attacks. In a small ring like this where there's less space, that can be deadly. But I think Gentilla's got the right game plan. Look at the way, though, that Gillon attacks the legs. I love that.
Gentilla, oh, there's telegraph there. Oh, big punches here from Kevin. Gentilla looked for that takedown, but it was telegraph. He didn't disguise it with any punches and kicks. Kevin Gillen on the outside. I love the way he's wearing those boxing-style shorts. And it's almost, again, talking about the psychology, making your opponent think that you're going to box with them and then doing something else. Nice body shot on the inside. Kevin going for that hip toss. Needs to be careful about getting his back taken here.
Or more importantly, an outside trip counter. And there we go. Gable grip. Nice tight control here for Gentilla. And he swaps to the double leg here, picks his opponent up underneath the hips, turns the corner beautifully, and it's down to the canvas.
All he needs is that one leg, and he turns the angle perfectly. You pivot round, and Kevin cannot stop himself getting taken down, and straight away he passes to the mount. Excellent BJJ for MMA from Louis. Again, now he's looking to do some strikes from the top. Kevin needs to be very careful. He's doing the right thing though, Chris. He's bucking and trying to hide his head. When he bucks, see if he moves his hips on the bottom to create that space, maybe cinch up the half guard.
And this is suffocating top control here, again from Gentilla on display. Gillen searching for a way out here, but Gentilla accumulates some strikes once again from the same position. Another interesting round, Dean.
Louis working harder to get those positions, fighting for those dominant places he can rack up the points. But if you look at him now in the corner, it's taking his toll. He's breathing heavy, taking some water. But there's to think about now what Kevin Gillen has to do. He's got to think about the takedowns. He's been taken down now 3 times, I believe, twice with that single leg where he hikes the leg up. He's to think about sprawling and brawling, keeping his hips backwards. Those fancy techniques are cool. They look good on the outside and they can catch people. But he needs to do something decisively. He needs to create the angles that he's known for, get in and land a big power shot.
And so things roll on here at the Rise of Champions. Round 3, the final, coming up here in just a moment, live from London. Round 3 and 3 minutes left on the clock. A sharp contrast of approaches for MMA. It's Gillen versus Gentilla.
Kevin now still on the outside. Let's see if he tries to use his footwork to get in. But Gentilla on the outside there, keeping his guard nice and high. He's very aware of those crazy unorthodox strikes, so he's keeping his chin and his temples protected in these exchanges. Nod of approval from Louis.
And both fighters, it would seem at times now, starting to attack and try and counter each other simultaneously. Look at that. Beautiful response from Gentilla. Gillen looking for the takedown. Gentilla with the counter. Double unders for Gentilla, and he presses his man up against the mesh.
Again, Louis with this dominant pressure, double unhook control, utilizing that space. You see there's hardly any space between his body and his opponent. Let's see if he drops down now to secure a leg. Double overhooks from Kevin. Head pressure from Louis. See the way he's forcing his forehead into Kevin. Really just opens up that space for him and dictates where Kevin's body goes and stops him getting low. If you get nice and low, square your base off, work for the underhooks. The takedown. Oh! Louis went for the takedown, but he almost pulled Kevin on top of him, but he's able just to spring back up. Excellent agility shown by Louis Gentilla.
And both fighters very athletic, Dean, but athletic in different ways. And again, that to me is what made this a contest with so many interesting questions. Look at this, Gillen dropping for a guillotine. Has he got it, Dean?
Difficult to finish in this position because the cage is stopping Kevin now from utilizing that arch in the back to put the choke on. Also he's in half guard, very difficult to finish from that position.
Well, the pressure has certainly been turned up a notch here. And we have now just got a little bit of time left in this contest. The match, though, has been furious, Dean. Both fighters have been gunning for the finish constantly.
I love the way these two fighters wait for that cat instinct. They wait for the perfect time to strike and go for it. And in the scrambles, they just, oh, here we go. You see Louis now, see if he can get the second hook. He's got one hook in, Chris. If he can get both hooks in, that's optimum control from this back position.
And he's got that over under the seatbelt, a hallmark of this position. And what he would like to do is get those hooks in a little bit deeper and try and stretch his opponent out.
Yeah, he's trying to make Kevin's flat so his belly is down to the mat. He's going for the rear naked choke, Chris. He's got the arm underneath the chin. Kevin's defending.
Seconds to go,
Wow.
and the clock runs out. Saved by the bell. Gentilla went for that one, but there was unfortunately not enough time for him. Jillon escapes that scare. Both fighters really putting each other into adversity in that round, Dean. There were submission attempts. Both fighters going for it. There was kicks. There were wild exchanges, Dean. That was entertaining, possibly the round of the night.
It's evident of the show being so highly touted and the matchmaking behind it all. They really put two fighters together that are a great match. They wait for their opponent to make a mistake and then capitalize on it. Their opponent catches up and they start again. It's so fun to watch these guys just evolve as they fight. And it's a perfect example here with Kevin Jillon and LEWIE Gentierla showing that. Let's go to the judges' scorecard. LEWIE dictating the takedowns, able to control when he was on top. Jillon with some nice strikes on the outside, some nice leg kicks, but ultimately we go to the judges for a decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to our judges' scorecards. To your winner by unanimous decision,